everybody. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. Well, I'm not joining in with the crowd, the Code Pink Republicans. Sorry. Nor am I joining in with the endless interventionists. No, we'll stick by our ideas and our principles, and we'll take each situation as they come. I'm rather surprised to see so many people bailing out on President Donald Trump and his foreign policy. He's not been a radical interventionist. He's actually been very sober about his foreign policy and his military policies. He's got one of the great secretaries of defense, General Mattis, 4-star general. I don't think he's a pushover. I don't think he wants to send our troops into harm's way in an endless war, do you? We've got our great head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, same thing. Very blunt-spoken man. And these men are also involved in developing policy, along with the NSC, but not exclusively. Now, Donald Trump inherited the situation in North Korea, in Iran, in China, in Russia, in Iraq, in Afghanistan. He's inherited the situations with ISIS and Al-Qaeda. President Trump has done an outstanding job, along with his advisors, in dealing with ISIS. ISIS is being pushed back, and ISIS is on the brink of defeat. He's done an outstanding job in dealing with Syria. He's absolutely turned around all the disasters in those two countries, that is, Iraq and Syria, and with ISIS, that he inherited from Obama. He's gone a long way in trying to address what's going on with North Korea. Our Navy has a massive presence off the Korean coast, including several nuclear subs and carriers. Slowly but surely, he's putting pressure on China, and actually more quickly as days go by, to try and force a resolution there. He's done more than any president before him that I know of. In Iran, now we shoot back. When enemy boats come after our ships actually fire rounds and warn them. And there's a struggle over what to do with Iran. I'm not giving the president A-pluses across the board. I'm telling you the president has inherited a mess. But here's what I don't get. I thought his speech was very strong and solid last night. It was utterly different than Obama, and it's utterly different than a speech John McCain would give, if you listen to it. Why don't we have faith in what President Trump wants to do? When it comes to foreign policy, he's done a pretty damn good job so far, and he's only been in office, 6 or 7 months? 8 months? Not a hell of a long time. He's trying to build up the United States military and reverse what Obama, the Democrats, and the Republicans did to our military. He's trying to do this all at once. Now, I know it's easy to beat your chest and say Afghanistan's been our longest war ever. But it's not like we've thrown all of our resources into Afghanistan. It's not like Barack Obama, during his 8 years, had any intention of winning anything in Afghanistan. And I might add, our longest war ever actually was the Cold War. It went on for 45 years, from 1945 to 1990. And it stretched into Vietnam, and it stretched into Africa. It stretched in, all over the world. Korea, so forth. The end of World War II, we had lost almost 417,000 men and women. And after World War II, we had 45 years of a Cold War. As I say, stretched into Korea, stretched into Vietnam, stretched into other parts of the world. And if we pull out immediately, from Afghanistan? Have we not been critical of what Obama did in Iraq? I've been reading all the arguments, including on the site where I'm executive editor-in-chief over at Conservative Review. Yeah, I let our guys, they give their opinions. They don't have to be my opinion. I don't sign off on everything. I don't have a morning editorial meeting and say, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. I say, okay, write smart stuff and defend it. And I delegate it to our managing editor. And they write smart stuff over there at Conservative Review. I agree with it most of the time, but I don't always agree with it because individuals have different viewpoints. But I thought the president's speech was actually excellent. I thought he put parameters on what we will do. He didn't exactly explain what those parameters were because he didn't want the enemy to know. He's taking advice from real generals, not pretend generals who are yes men, as the sort that Obama surrounded himself with. We have real national security people like Pompeo over there at the CIA. I don't understand why Trump is under vicious attack if we have some faith in him. I also don't understand this viewpoint that Trump is only as smart as his advisors. That if Trump does something, it's because he's such a dumbbell. He's being manipulated. And this is something I just don't understand. I don't believe that. I don't believe that in the least. I believe Trump is making the decisions. For Trump, as President of the United States. This sort of thing used to be said about Ronald Reagan. It wasn't true. And I don't think it's true about Donald Trump. This isn't about neocons versus non-neocons and isolationists versus the interventionists and this one versus... It's nothing to do with any of it. I don't believe Donald Trump is a interventionist globalist, do you? I don't believe he's a neocon, do you? On the other hand, I don't believe he's a cold pink Republican. Do you? Why are we in Afghanistan? Well, maybe in part the Bush administration went in for a democracy project, but that's not the reason it went in originally. We went into Afghanistan because that was where 9/11 was hatched, in Afghanistan. That resulted in the monumental death and attack on American soil. We're not chasing birds in Afghanistan. We're there for a reason. Al-Qaeda's still there. ISIS is still there. That's not on Trump. Trump's been trying to figure out what to deal with, how to deal with it. He called out Pakistan. He called out India for more help. Today, Red China came to Pakistan's defense because Red China is trying to undermine our alliance it is with Pakistan, because that's what Red China does. But we're not in Afghanistan because we want to create a Jeffersonian democracy, which apparently we're not allowed to do anymore anyway, or a liberal republic or anything of the sort. We're in there to protect ourselves for the most part, and that's exactly what the president said. I'll be right back.